Chase Gore.
I'm Chris Gore.
This is the Slot T Mafia Show. We're back here in the studio, brought to you by Daniel Montoya with Monument Realty. Our backdrop here is brought to you by Nix and Nax. And Chris Gore, thank you for being on the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we're going to go ahead and dive right into it. This last week, Andrews traveled down to Wichita Falls, took on Wichita Falls Memorial. Bigger team, 5A team. They were bigger up front, and it was a tough task for the Mustangs. They go down there. They fall to Memorial 50-27. Chris, what are your takeaways from that game?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. We knew it was going to be a monumental challenge for the Mustangs. They were big, they were fast, had a lot of good skill people. But, the kids gave good effort, ended up putting up 4 touchdowns and got a little more offensive looks, which was good to see. And I think it's something to build on moving forward.
Well, I want to go ahead and go into the stats of that game real quick. First downs, Andrews had 30 to Memorial's 21. Rushing, we rushed 63 times for 222 yards. They had 32 rushes for 311. Passing, we were 1 of 5 for 19 yards and a touchdown. They were 5 for 14 for 20. Passing, Kate Adams had a 19-yard touchdown pass to Jayshawn DeBose. Rushing, the sophomore got the start, Bo Hudson.
It looked good. 16
carries, 108 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jayshawn DeBose, 23 carries for 67. Mian had 8 carries for 30. And the other sophomore, Jace Mendoza, 8 carries, 28 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah. Hudson, the sophomore, got the start, and you could tell he broke that long run early. I think we were down 14-0 to kind of keep us in the game in the first half. He had some explosion when he hit the line. He was quick, and it was it was good to see it. Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty neat. His dad, Chris, couldn't make our live stream to the game, so Mike stepped in, and that was a big moment for him. His son's first start in a varsity game, so my heart goes out to them. I know the feeling, good feeling. And now we're going to get rid of Memorial.
Get rid of that game. That's gone. Yeah.
And now we're moving on to moving on to the next week. We have the Monahans Lobos coming to town. It's homecoming. They'll be here coming to Andrews this Friday night, 7:00. Big, huge rivalry. It's been going on. I'm going to go ahead and give this out. So this rivalry started back in 1947. The all-time series, Andrews has the lead with 37 wins, 31 losses, and 1 tie. Now Monahans comes in on the season 1-3, kind of in the same boat as Andrews. We're both sitting 1-3. Both teams have played a pretty tough schedule. I think Monahans had a loss to Shallow Water 17-14. They lost to Randall 43-14. They did beat a Lubbock Cooper Liberty team 28-12. And then last week, they were down to Wall, I believe 27-6 in the fourth, and made a comeback, but ended up coming up short 27-20. And Chris, what are some things you're looking at this week versus Monahans?
Well, like you said, it's always a good game regardless of the records. We've played them before when we've been 4-0 and they've been 0-4, vice versa. It's always a tough game, big rivalry game. Coach Stahls over there, they're well coached. Their kids played hard, but we had hit on it earlier in the year. I think they had a lot of people coming back up front, but they lost Navarrete, who obviously last year was their key. I think most people, probably people over there too, probably knew they wouldn't be as good on offense. So they're still trying to, kind of like us, trying to find their way, trying to figure out what they can do. And, I think they're more of, Coach mentioned it, going to run the ball a little more. But it'll be a good game. I'm excited to tee it up on Friday night.
And now, Chris, is there some things that you would like to see this Friday night in the game?
Well, I think it's imperative that Andrews gets off to a good start. When you're 1-3, bad things happen. You start looking for that. I think it's imperative we have a kickoff return for a touchdown, a punt return, a block punt, a big play early to kind of set the tone, to kind of to prevent those negative things happen in a football game. But a lot of times if something good can happen early, build some momentum, it can go a long way in winning a ball game.
And especially at home.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to have a big crowd there. Yeah. Get out there this Friday night, black out the home side. We need everybody to come out. If you cannot make it, me and my co-host here will be live streaming the game. I'll throw up those links later on in the week. We have a great production. We got the triplets. It's a family that moved to Andrews. They're going to be cameramen down on the field. We have 2 cameramen on the field. Me and Chris will be up top with the camera as well. And so special thanks to those guys. We got Justin Bailey, Tate Gore on the sideline. They'll be doing some photos and videos and things of that nature. And we also have we got some players and some folks, a lot of people coming back that are ex-Andrews alumni, and I know a couple of them out there who that'll be coming back to town. One of them in particular has not been back to an Andrews game since he graduated, and he played quarterback for the Andrews Mustangs back on the 93-94 team. Brian Leopard, he'll be here. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll have some great interviews at halftime as well. And I think you hit on one thing that I think sometimes that you hit on that I want to hit a key note on is special teams.
Oh, yeah.
We need a spark in the special teams. I think that would go a long way. And special teams sometimes can spark big things. Now we're going to go ahead and move on.
Yep.
We're moving to the pick'em section. And Chris on the season is 24-15. I'm 23-16. So now last week's picks, I just want to go ahead and say one of the games, the website that I go off of actually had the game wrong. Okay. So I just deleted that one, took it out. All right, game one, we got Big Spring at Snyder. Barn Burner Deluxe.
Oh, yeah. They're both struggled. Big Spring, I think they beat El Paso Bel Air last week. Snyder's 1-3. I'm going to say Big Spring is going to ride the momentum. I'm going to say Big Spring 24, Snyder 12.
Well, I'm going to go Big Spring 21-20. Game number 2, I got Pecos at Greenwood.
Well, Greenwood, they beat us a couple weeks ago. They beat Shallow Water last Friday. It was an impressive win by them. Pecos, that'll be, I'm going to say Greenwood 52, Pecos 12.
All right, I got 56-14 Greenwood. Game number 3, I got Lakeview at Levelland.
Lakeview's still Lakeview. Levelland is still Levelland. I think Levelland beat Pecos. I think they might be 2-2, so they might be a little better this year. But I'm going to say Levelland 42, Lakeview 20.
All right, I got Levelland 28-14. All right, Estacado at Randall.
Estacado struggled. I think they're 1-3, and they've struggled this year. Kind of surprising. I know they had a new coach, so maybe I don't know what's going on up there. Randall's, I think they're 4-0. They hammered Wichita Falls Legacy. They beat the heck out of Monahans. Randall looks probably the best team right now up in the Panhandle right now. So I'm going to say Randall 56-21.
All right, I got Randall rolling. I got 49-14. Game number 5, Odessa High at Killeen Ellison in Abilene.
I don't know much about Ellison. They used to be good a while back. They built a bunch of new high schools in Killeen. I know Central's played them the last few years. Always have a lot of speed, but Odessa High, they played Eastwood tough, and then they beat Monterey last week. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I'm going to say Odessa High 51, Ellison 45.
All right, and I am going to go with Killeen Ellison here, and I'm going to go 49-48.
It'll be high scoring. Odessa High can put up some points.
All right, game number 6, I got Santa Lucis, Florida at Midland High.
That's a tough one because you don't know what you're getting with those teams from Florida. I mean, if you get one of their big teams, they'd beat them 60-0. So, but I don't know what they've got, so I'm going to go with Midland High at home, 28-7.
I got Midland High at home as well. I'm going to go 35-28. Then I got game number 7, Midland Legacy at Ruston, Louisiana.
Another one, I don't know anything about Ruston, Louisiana. I do know Stephenville plays them next week, so they're kind of running a Texas heavy schedule.
I will tell you, in Louisiana, they're ranked number 1.
Well, they'll have athletes. They'll be athletic. So, I'm going to go with Midland Lee beat Abilene High pretty good last week. That quarterback put up a lot. I'm going to say Midland Lee 40, Midland Legacy 49, Ruston 42.
All right, I got Ruston 56, Midland Legacy 28. Carver, Birmingham, Alabama at Permian.
Again, don't know anything about Carver, Alabama. Permian surprisingly 4-0. They surprised us. We didn't think they were going to have much this year. Playing in Odessa, surely Permian wouldn't schedule one of the better teams in Alabama. So I'm going to say Permian 42, Carver 14.
I'm going Carver, Birmingham. I'm going to go 28-21. Game number 9, moving up to the NFL, Jaguars at Texans.
Oh, gosh. Texans. I'm going to say Texans 28, Jaguars 3.
All right, I got Texans 28-20. All right, and game number 10, the Cowboys at the Giants.
Oh, gosh. Giants looked good last week. I'm going to pick the Giants. I'm going to say the Giants are going to win 17-14.
All right, and I got Cowboys. I got 32-24 Cowboys. That's going to conclude the Pick'em section. We got a special guest fixing to come in studio, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back here live in the studio, and I have a special guest, and I'm going to go ahead and let the gentleman introduce himself.
My name is Josh Kelly, coach outside linebackers at Andrews and head boys track coach.
All right, Coach Kelly, I wanted to ask you, so where did you grow up? Where are you from?
I grew up in Artesia, New Mexico originally. Stayed there through my freshman year, and then made a move over to Lubbock and graduated from Friendship High School.
Friendship High School. And where did you go to college? Where did you
I stayed in Lubbock and went to Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. And how many years have you been in the coaching profession?
This is year 19 and year 7 in Andrews.
Year 7 in Andrews. Well, we appreciate you being here, and we're lucky to have you here. Thank you very much. Now, you coach an outside linebacker, so what can you tell me about the defense this year? And tell me, and also the team in full, but what are some strengths and some good things that you see out of them?
And our defense this year it's one of the faster groups we've had for sure, especially our linebacker core. I mean, I think they're all sub 4.7. I mean, they've got some speed. A little young up front, a little bit inexperienced, but they're growing. Back end, we've got some guys back there that are making some plays. So it's just something. It's kind of a process. It's growing. Linebackers learning the new front up there. Those guys where they're going to fit and how they're fitting, and I think it's all really going to come together.
Very nice, very nice. And now you coaching the outside linebackers. Do y'all have any special sayings or mantras that you guys have?
And we really don't have any sayings. I mean, we play fast. You know, we talk about if you make a mistake, do it going 100 miles an hour, and just play fast. Speed covers up mistakes. Hustle, hustle, hustle.
Absolutely. And so, Coach, anybody out there, this is your time to have the floor. Anybody out there, it could be anybody, family, friends, anybody in the community that you want to give a special shout out to.
Man, I always want to thank my family, my wife, Heather. You know, couldn't do things without her. Being a coach's wife is tough. So, you know, special thanks to her, all she does for us. And, you know, thanks Coach Harvey for bringing me to Andrews. Very grateful.
And one last question I forgot to ask you. And who is your favorite football player that you've ever seen?
It's got to be Von Miller, big Broncos fan, outside linebacker. I mean, hated to see him leave, but understand it. But, yeah, dude plays a position with a lot of heart and obviously super talented.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on the show. We wish you guys luck this Friday. Go get them. We're going to be there. We're going to be live streaming. And big rivalry. Monahan's coming to town. Andrews aside is going to have 5,000 or 6,000 people there. And looking forward to it. And thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're back here live in the studio, brought to you by Daniel Montoya, Monument Realty. I got a special guest, Andrews Mustang player, in the studio, and I'm going to let the gentleman introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Cabrera. I'm a senior at Andrews High School. I play high safety, roll down safety, and a little bit inside backer.
So, Mr. Cabrera, so kind of tell everybody out there, how long have you been playing football?
So I've been playing football since YFL, which is something that we have going on here in Andrews, which is
I got to coach little Zach.
3rd grade all the way up to 6th grade, I believe it is. I think it's lower than that, yeah.
Yeah,
I think I started out in 3rd grade.
I think back then we started at 3rd and 4th. Now I think they start 1st and 2nd. But I got to coach Zach 1 year in the YFL, which was a lot of fun. And was there anybody out there in your life or anybody that got you interested in playing football?
I'd have to say my brother for sure. He's always been like biggest person I look up to. Every Friday I get a big text from him to tell me how much I need to enjoy it just because he wishes he can go back to it.
And for those of y'all that don't know, I think your older brother graduated in 2019. Is that
21.
correct? In 21.
Yes, sir.
And was a player here for the Andrews Mustangs, I remember. Okay, so who is your favorite football player of all time? It could be anybody. Tell me why.
I'd say Deuce Vaughn. The biggest reason is just size-wise. I'm just like me. I'm a small player, but it doesn't really matter when it comes to it. If you can hit someone just as hard as they can hit you, it doesn't stop nothing. You know.
It's not the size of the dog. You know what I'm saying? So for this season right here, your senior season, what are your personal goals for this year?
So my personal goals is to just stay healthy. One, because last year I kind of went out like early, couldn't finish through strong enough, you know. But this year I've started out good, regained that like focus that I really needed, and hopefully finish up top with a lot more tackles than last year.
And how about team goals? What are your team goals for this season?
Team goals is just to find our rhythm. We're a really close team. We're always talking, always wanting to do something together, and I'm hoping that we're able to just come together in football wise and just get our team going so that we can keep going further on in the playoffs this year.
Absolutely. And now this is your opportunity to give me 2 players' names. Somebody that you think that don't get a lot of recognition, or someone that's kind of on the down low out there that's been working hard that deserves a little their name to be shouted out.
So defensive wise, I'd say probably Rocky Stevens. He's a really good player, very fast, and one of the best guys I've seen like covering a receiver wise, because he came from playing receiver. So seeing routes is just nothing new to him. And offensive wise, I had to go with Hezekiah Salgado. Just watching the scrimmages, now he may not get a lot of reps, but if you give him a hole, he'll hit it, and you won't catch him.
Very nice. So y'all heard that out there, and now I'm going to give you the floor. Is there anybody out there? It could be anybody that you want to give a special shout out to.
I give a shout out to my parents, man, especially my grandparents. They're big on my life, especially in sports. And like I said earlier, my brother is very big on it. And I had to say thanks to my coaches as well.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Cabrera, we appreciate you coming on the show. We're pulling for you. We're going to be there Friday night. Well, we'll be there every game. And we really enjoy it. We enjoy watching you guys play. It's always good to see guys that you grew up with. I was lucky. I got to coach you one year. It's always good to see those kids come up. Also, other kids that you'll be seeing on here in a minute. Worked out with my son almost every day the last couple of years. So it's very exciting for us, and we appreciate it very much. And thank you for coming on the
Thank
show.
you.
All right, we're back here live in the studio. We got another interview, Andrews Mustang football player, and I'm going to let the gentleman introduce himself.
My name is Makinly Espinoza, and I play outside linebacker, and I'm also in powerlifting.
And what number are you on the football team?
Number 35.
All right, so y'all be looking for number 35 out there. All right, Mr. Espinoza, you let me know, how long have you been playing football?
I started back in 6th grade.
Back in 6th?
Yes, sir. I played with, I guess it was a little league. It was the Mustangs, and I played with a lot of my teammates that I have right now too.
So is there someone that got you interested in playing football?
Not really. The story of how I started is kind of funny because I went to one of my little brother's practices actually, and some coaches just asked me if I wanted to play, and I just said yes, and been playing ever since.
And then there you go. And you fell in love with it.
Yes, sir.
So I want you to tell everybody out there, who is your favorite football player of all time, and tell me why.
My favorite, he's kind of a newer player, but Zay Flowers on the Ravens. He's just a really explosive receiver.
Fast.
Yeah,
Super
really fast.
And, yeah, he did some damage to the Cowboys this weekend. So, oh, yeah. So this year, senior season,
Sir.
What are your personal goals for this season?
My personal goals would just be as explosive as I can, and whenever I do get playing time, cause trouble.
All right, a good answer. And how about team goals? What are y'all's team goals?
Team goals, we are a really close team, and just to get as far as we can, you know.
Okay, and then now let everybody know out there, give me about 2 players' names out there that's under the radar, or you might think, might not get a lot of talking out there that you think people out there need to be paying attention to.
Defensive wise, I feel like Brandon Winfrey doesn't get a lot of attention, but he's really fast. And on special teams, he's big on
The
special teams. And when he does get on defense, he makes a lot of good plays.
All right,
and then I'd say offensive wise, Bo Hudson, he's pretty quick. He did start this past game, but he's really good for a sophomore.
All right, so y'all heard those names out there. Be looking for them. And last but not least, this is your time. You have the open floor. You can give anybody out there a shout-out or a thank you to whoever you like.
First of all, I'd like to thank God for all my success that I've had. I wouldn't be here or be able to do the things I do without them. Second of all, my parents, especially my mom, she's helped me through a lot. And my older brother, he's helped me through a lot of adversity that I went through in my life.
That's good. That's good. Well, Mr. Espinoza, we appreciate you coming on the show. We enjoy watching you play. We're going to be at every game. You guys got to go get them Friday. Big rivalry. Monahans, last homecoming that you'll play. Make it worth it. Make it worthwhile. And thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, we're back here live in the studio with the third Andrews Mustang football player, and I'm going to go ahead and let the gentleman introduce himself.
What's going on? I'm Chavez. I'm number 12 on the football team. I play corner, and I'm a senior this year.
All right, Mr. Chavez, how long have you been playing football?
I would say it's just since 7th grade.
Since 7th
I
grade?
got into it since we started doing sports in school.
Now, is there anybody out there or any reason why you took a liking to football?
Oh, my older brother, he played like when he was in his youth and YFL and stuff, and I just want to follow him, follow his footsteps. You know what I mean?
Very nice, very nice. And do you have a favorite football player out there that you like to watch, and tell me why?
He doesn't play anymore. Most definitely Marshawn Lynch. I mean, self-explanatory. He goes by beast mode, and I mean, he's just a stud.
But I still remember watching it live to this day, playoff game against New Orleans when he had that run, and I don't know how many tackles he broke, stiff-arm people, and then the pose at the end. He just topped it off. But we won't go into that. But, yeah, he was definitely he deserved that nickname. And another thing is when they were in the Super Bowl on the 1 yard line, why they didn't give Beast Mode the ball, I'll never understand. But anyway, we're on to better things. So your senior season this year, what are your personal goals for this year?
I mean, for myself, probably get a couple more turnovers, and just enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment. I like that. And what are your team goals for this season?
Most definitely, like my buddies had said earlier, we're really close, and I feel like we need to be able to finish the second half and be a fourth quarter team.
All right. Good answer. Now, this is your chance. I want two players out there. Could be anybody of your choice that you think's kind of under the table or might not get some shout-outs or people need to be looking out for. Who would you say?
On the offensive side, most definitely my man Anthony Baeza. Give him the rock. It's going to be pretty hard to take him down. And then on the defense side, my man Brody Figueroa plays corner. He's really good. He's out there. He's always has a good smile on his face and always keeps the attitude up.
Good attitude and effort.
Sir.
Good attitude and effort. It's always a good combination. Now it's your chance on the floor. Give a shout-out to whoever that you want. Who do you want to give a shout-out to?
My cousin, he plays soccer. He's a goalie, Leonardo Chavez, a little stud, He plays his heart out, and I'm going to support him.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Chavez, we enjoyed last year and this year watching you play. This year, big game, Friday night, Monahans Lobos coming to town. And, we're so excited. We're excited for you. We're excited to see where the season goes. Get these boys playing. Be ready. And thank you for coming on the show.
Appreciate for having me.
All right, we're back here, and that's going to conclude the Slot Team Mafia show. And it's brought to you by Daniel Montoya with Monument Realty. Our backdrop here is brought to you by Nix and Nax. Special thanks to Coach Kelly for coming on the show. Special thanks to the Andrews Mustangs that came into the studio. We want to say a special thanks. This Friday night, Andrews Mustangs, homecoming, Monahans coming to town, 7 o'clock. We need everybody to get to the stadium. We need to black out the home side. Give these boys some good backing. If you cannot make the game, we will be live streaming on our Facebook and YouTube pages. I'll throw up those links later. And always remember, folks, it's a great day to be a Mustang.